on going to the... he is entirely set on staying on NXT. He has no interest in going to the main roster whatsoever. At all. So, thoughts on that?
I can't say I blame him.
No.
As sad as it is to say that, because that ultimately should be your goal.
Yep.
It's sad to say, but I don't blame him, at least right now. And definitely when he comes back, I don't think he should be a Drew where he is NXT, gets injured, comes back to the main roster. I think he definitely needs to come back, win the title again, and re-solidify his role down there and his dominance. And in that way, a year and a half, depending on when he comes back, but a year and a half after he's been back and established, maybe at that point, but...
Yeah.
Don't rush. There's no need to rush it.
I mean, if you're done in NXT and you see what they do with all the NXT people that gone up, would you want to leave?
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, if Gargano goes up there, he's going to get shit on just like everybody else.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Without any question. So, let's move on to the next one. AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. Great match. I mean, those two guys are remarkable talents to begin with. But I was disappointed to see him pull the belt back off of Ricochet so soon.
Yeah, I was hoping they would keep that feud and keep that feud going. And, eventually, yes, AJ's going to win it. But not...
right off the bat.
Right now.
Yeah.
Maybe drag it out till SummerSlam. It's only one more month, guys.
Well, I think it's going to get drug out, but the belt's going to go back and forth probably a couple more times. I think Ricochet's going to get his shining moment at SummerSlam. So here's the question I have. What's the equalizer? What's the equalizer? Because the club is going to be around for AJ Styles. What's going to be the equalizer for Ricochet?
A steel cage.
I could see steel cage, or does the feud stretch out to October and we get Ricochet, AJ Styles, Hell in a Cell?
Or
a ladder match.
What if Undisputed Era gets involved? Because I told you about it.
Did you see that tweet?
I was talking about it today.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the equalizer to the club.
Mm-hmm. But
Ricochet calls it NXT.
Ricochet calls in a favor to NXT.
That'd be a SummerSlam event.
Think about it.
All over.
That's what I'm saying. Think about it, because you did see it.
Yeah.
Saw the tweet.
Yeah.
So I'd be down for that
because it was back and forth between Adam Cole, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and
Carl Anderson.
No, Roderick Strong.
Oh, I didn't see Roderick.
I think he was the one that said, "Be careful what you wish for, AJ."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay.
So
that would be pretty sweet.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Moving on to the next one, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. I think that match delivered about exactly what we thought it was going to deliver. You've got
a lot faster than we all anticipated it.
It was about as uneventful as I expected.
Yep.
Dolph Ziggler, a remarkably talented individual. Kevin Owens, a remarkably talented individual. But again, no storyline. There wasn't really anything there that could be built on that we could drive home. I actually think WWE did that one right. I'm not sure I agree with burying Dolph Ziggler, which that's kind of what you did.
Yeah.
But Dolph Ziggler's also at a point in his career where I don't think he needs...
They bury Dolph annually. Like, once a year...
That's fair.
He gets buried. Like, he'll come around, he'll do something that's mainstream and kind of out there.
Yeah.
Like he did with Kofi.
Yep.
And then the very next year he gets buried, and Dolph is
gone again.
At the back of the pack.
So, that match was a whopping 17 seconds on its official time. Moving on to the next match, Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. I actually thought this was going to go the other way. I thought this was the day that Samoa Joe gets the strap. The problem I have with this match is are you going to continue to do nothing with Samoa Joe?
Right.
Yeah. You're going to this is the Cesaro argument that you guys talked about earlier. That's a valid argument here.
Well, when we were talking about Cesaro, she said...
Yeah, she mentioned just like Samoa Joe. So...
I mean, they put the U.S.
It is kind of the same thing. It's that always a bridesmaid, never a bride kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listening to some of our listeners and the folks that are watching also comment on the AJ Styles Ricochet match and about how being one of the folks was there for the match.
Oh, cool.
And he said that watching it in person was insane.
I bet.
Yeah.
You know, those two guys are remarkably talented athletes, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Kevin Owens a little bit later on in tonight's show. But the Kofi Kingston Samoa Joe match, we actually speculated as a group. You know, was this the match that you see Brock Lesnar cash in at the end and finally take away the title? We were incorrect.
I so wish it was, though.
I told you.
Yeah.
I do. I so wish it was.
I told you when I came in that the New Day was going to win the tag titles, and Kofi was going to retain, and they were going to walk out with all the gold.
And you know what? That's cool. That's cool. I'm on board with it. But everybody knew, really, in our heart of hearts, and everybody everywhere knew that Lesnar was cashing in on Seth. You knew it.
Well, but we were hoping. We were hoping that wasn't the case.
Right, but you knew it.
Yeah.
You knew it. You knew it. Nico knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it was going to happen.
So the next match of the night was indeed the Universal Championship match and the Raw Women's Championship match with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins taking on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. And I'm going to tell you that once again, they're not doing anything. Lacey Evans is a remarkably talented performer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that in NXT. Her talents are almost endless. She's stumbled a little bit on the main roster, and I think putting her in a feud with Becky Lynch was the right idea, but I'm not sure why they're continuing, because if you think about it, who takes the pinfall in each one of these matches?
Lucy.
So
My gun there.
So it's
What'd you say?
I almost choked on my gum.
so
It's
it's
fine.
not
I made it through.
it's not
At least you didn't wreck the truck.
I just
Never.
don't understand where they're trying to go with this. Like I feel like they're burying her.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of.
But she's
kind
that
of
type, like a Baron Corbin or...
Maybe she's
I
that
don't
female
know, say that,
Cesaro.
but
Oh,
you
she-
can build right back up.
Yeah.
The best two heels you have in the business or in the WWE right now are Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. You want to know why? Because there's genuine heat
Yeah.
for them. People don't want to see them. They don't like them. They don't like the fact that they're in the title matches. Guys, that's what being a heel is all about.
And that's crazy to think about.
That's what being... The
Those are the
fact
top
that you
two.
despise the fact that they're in that match means that, guess what? What they're doing is their job.
Right.
So
Right.
they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
In the days he hit on Becky Lynch, perfect.
Yes. I was like,
Perfect.
And for me,
and
that's...
I absolutely loathe Baron Corbin.
Right.
But when that happened,
I love
I was
Becky.
like,
It was
That's
so
something
cool.
different that
It
you
was so
haven't
cool.
seen, and they
In
years.
And the line
Years.
that he said to Seth right after that, the piece of...
What? Go ahead and say it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can
We can say it, go
Nothing
ahead.
changed, right? He was like something, something, something. You piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then that's when Seth just lost it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
It's pretty cool.
the... I'm glad you sent me that one. We're going to get to that a little bit later on in the run show. So that particular moment for me had Paul Heyman's name written all over
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
we saw him push the boundaries and the limits with ECW all the time.
Yeah.
And it was
It's like
such
a Gil McGill. Come on.
It was such a
Torn apart.
break away from what we've been force-fed by the WWE over the recent past. And so it was, without a doubt, a breath of fresh air.
I just wish he got an F5 too, just to seal it off.
That would have been amazing.
So
Just like a
Nico was running a poll
final,
for
you
us
know.
on our Facebook page during Facebook Live, and the question was, are you sold on Lacey Evans? And right now the poll is at 100% no.
yeah.
That they are not sold on Lacey Evans. I would argue the point and take the unpopular opinion that that's entirely, if you hate her and she's a heel, then she's doing her job. So,
Very well.
it's, I can't stand Baron Corbin, but that's his role.
That's his job.
That's his role right now, is for people to hate him. So he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
It'd be different. We saw this a lot differently when we had the Roman Reigns, where they were force-feeding him, and then Triple H was the one who said, well, if you're booing him, then isn't he already a heel? So, they're doing their jobs. Lacey Evans, the fact that she got in there and took those kendo stick shots the way that
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Those things were vicious.
and it was reminiscent of the Crutch and Ronda Rousey from the Royal Rumble, but it was authentic. And there's a lot of females that may not have gone in there and taken it the way that she did.
Yeah.
So and let's be real, if a real fight were to take place, there's not a woman on that roster that could beat Lacey Evans.
Oh,
Ronda
no.
Rousey.
No.
Oh.
She's not there right now.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
But that would be...
I will have to agree with you on that one.
That would
Thank
be,
you.
That would be the only one that would stand a chance. Because for folks that do not know, Lacey was a former Marine. And so she is a combat veteran. And so there is clearly an ability there that, again, in a real situation, most of those females would not stand a chance against her.
Can we mention something really quickly, though, since we brought up Ronda?
Sure.
Did anyone else see WWE's tweet earlier today?
Should Ronda come back to
Or,
WWE?
is there a noticeable void or something about missing her or something to the fact of, how do you feel? It's like
You
something
think
to
they
that.
really were kind of putting feelers out?
That and just like a reminder.
I think they were
and
trying
just
to make
like
a
a...
point.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
Because
I
it
was in a
said
car
like
at 10.
something like they mentioned the women's division. Like it was very, I can't believe I can't remember the
So
exact wording,
it
but
was along the lines of
What was
there
it on?
has there been an absence felt since she has not been back?
well, because I think everything was
Yes.
just so focused around her. Like everyone else obviously took a back seat, and then when she
But-
left, what did
so
they
but-
really do?
Well, but here's the thing, and this goes back. This is almost validation to the point that I had made for months, and that was you don't get a women's main event at WrestleMania without Ronda Rousey. You don't get the man Becky Lynch without Ronda Rousey. There are so many things that I don't think people realize that were built with her as the foundation that now that she's not there, you're starting to notice that, there's not a whole lot of excitement in the women's division because she's not there. So think about this.
Just like I said earlier, like they're confused on what they want to do with the women's division.
Yeah, but I want you to think about this for just a second because it just came across my mind. She was only on the roster for 12 months.
For a year, a straight year.
Think about the impact that she has had on that division with her there for that year and now gone since WrestleMania, and you still have people talking about her 4 months later. I mean, that's how much of an impact she had on the women's division.
She's a woman's Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I found it. So they said it's been 3 months since Ronda Rousey appeared in WWE. Does the women's division really need her back? It's up for debate. Oh, apparently there's a new head-to-head. It said it's up for debate in this edition of WWE head-to-head. I'm not sure what that is, but just interesting.
Yeah.
Wording by them.
So, she initially, she made it very public that she wanted to go. She wants to have a family. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of things that tie into that for folks' personal lives.
Sounds familiar.
Sound like you, didn't it?
A little bit.
There are, I don't know. I think the answer is she comes back, but the timing has to be right.
Definitely.
The timing has to be right, and I don't think that you bring her back for a rematch with Becky Lynch or Charlotte. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I see someone else taking over the division by storm.
Shayna.
And then her being the force that returns to say, hey, you haven't beat me. So...
Yeah, but didn't mean to get sidetracked.
No,
but yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up. So let's move on to, for me, I'm going to honestly say
markers.
that this was the most exciting moment of the entire pay-per-view for me, was when they started to make the announcement of Seth Rollins being the victor. It stopped, and then you heard Lesnar's music hits, And so the thing that
I
actually...
thought you were going to go for the sound effects at the. For
I did too. I thought he was going to do it. It's like, do it.
Well, one of our listeners actually commented in and said that they're definitely missing Ronda Rousey because they were only selling her Funko dolls at the merch stand in Philly. So, I think they still sell. I mean, they still sell the Funko dolls for folks that haven't wrestled in years.
I was about to say they were still selling Sting masks at DC back in December.
So, one of the interesting things about this is, moving past that back into the Lesnar conversation, is that you saw people that immediately went to social media as soon as that night was over and complained that Lesnar had the belt again. I challenge anyone to go back, rewatch that moment when his music hits, and watch what the crowd does.
They
Go
nuts. But as soon as he wins, they all start booing him.
Right.
I think what everybody wanted was him to cash in and lose.
Yeah,
and watch him lose.
I'm okay with it. I think he's probably going to be around a lot more now than what we've seen him in the past, with him finally putting the hat on the rack for UFC and letting that go.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got probably 5 or 6 years that he could continue doing this in WWE. He's probably got another 12.
I was going to say, I think he could go as long as he wants to go.
Because he's in good enough shape.
And he's only like 42, right?
42?
I think he's young. He's young.
So he's got
40-year-old.
That is young. You're right.
Yeah.
He's got.
I mean, ask him. He's 75. He's seen that years ago.
So go fist yourself. So
I was not going there.
In reality, we have we have an opportunity once again to continue to see Lesnar reign dominant. Here's the question I have, and this will wrap up our conversation on Extreme Rules. Who takes it off of Lesnar?
Well, Seth is getting the rematch at SummerSlam, right?
Seth's not going to get that belt.
I don't think Seth takes it.
No.
Y'all don't think so?
Mm-mm.
No.
So, okay, so what happens with Seth after that, then? You drop him to the mid-card?
Okay, I could go through a list of people that you could ask that question about. What are you going to do with Roman Reigns? What are you going to do with Seth Rollins? What are you going to do with Samoa Joe? What are you going to do with Dolph Ziggler?
They're different.
They're not.
No.
They're all
For right now, Seth, if he loses to Lesnar, he's taken a huge step back. Whereas Roman, he hasn't fought for a title since coming back, so he's just doing random feuds, fine, whatever. Dolph Ziggler has been a jobber for how many years now, so that's kind of different. So
let's throw this out there because we haven't said it in a long time. Does Lesnar keep it to WrestleMania? Cena comes back, breaks the record, and then goes.
I think if they could choose that, they absolutely would.
I think at some point in time, John Cena is going to break the record.
Yeah.
He'll be.
I
have mixed feelings about it. But
That's a whole other conversation.
I'm not a fan of it.
But he's earned. I don't know how you build a Mount Rushmore of wrestling now without John Cena's face on it.
Right.
Let's
just do it. To be honest, if it wasn't for him, I don't think that company would still be around.
He carried that company on his back for 10 years.
Yeah. That's
something that Austin didn't do, that Hogan didn't do, that The Rock didn't do.
Hang on. Just in case some crazy shit comes out of the ceiling, I don't want to get hit.
Well, but they didn't. They didn't. Hogan carried it for about 4 years. Austin carried it for about 3 years. The Rock carried it for about
so you're
2.
just saying not as long as Cena. Okay.
I'm not saying that he did it better, but he's the only person that can say that he put that company on his shoulders and carried it on his back for 10 years.
Because they had
that I'll give you.
There's nobody else that
but he's
can
not
say that.
the only one.
No.
That's why I was moving. Hang on.
That's not what I was saying. What I was saying is that he's the one that did it for the longest, and he was
felt their show crashing down.
Yeah.
So
they literally had nobody.
No, he was
nobody except for him.
Edge doesn't come to fruition without John Cena.
Fair.
Maybe not as big as he became, but
his major feuds against John Cena. Without that,
Randy Orton.
It doesn't. Randy Orton. I mean, how many guys would never? You wouldn't even know if it wasn't for what Cena did with.
We even got The Rock return twice
And Kevin Owens.
for John Cena.
John Cena.
And Kevin Owens, his debut.
Yeah, I mean, you could go down the list.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
AJ Styles. Let's keep
AJ
going.
Styles.
I agree.
We got to beat up John Cena.
God, that was my favorite time for AJ Styles.
I know it.
And he did it so well.
I'm
That's
coming
what
down to
made
the
it so
ring
much
tonight.
fun.
And we're going to beat up John Cena.
So let's move on to our next topic in our run sheet for the night, which I believe was to, Jesus, now I got to go back to the debut of The Fiend.
Yes.
So you asked a question a few minutes ago, and I'm going to address your question. I think Nico has an actual video of the debut of The Fiend that he's going
watch it again.
that he's going to stream for us, so our listeners and our watchers, that the folks that did not get a chance to see it, you're going to get a chance to watch it now. Nico, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I'm just seeing everyone's reaction.
The mics are muted, so they can't hear us.
Oh, perfect.
That's probably best.
That's what I asked him. I said, the video's playing. He's like, the mics are muted. Great.
Let's not change it. We know how to turn it up.
This is so great.
Love it.
I legit was freaked out when I first saw that. Maybe actually before.
This is the best thing they've done in years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you have the new Undertaker.
Yes.
That's what you have.
I think so too. I was thinking about this driving up the road today.
There's no doubt this man is going to terrorize WWE.
And JoJo.
So, there you go, folks. The debut of The Fiend. One word reactions, go.
Damn.
All right.
Perfect.
I have to agree with her. Perfect.
That was more than one word, but thanks.
But I will say, I called it.
You did. You did make. You said that he would return
You did.
to face Finn Balor. Now, here's the interesting part. We talked about this while the clip was running, and I'll say it again now, that is your new modern-day Undertaker. That's what that character is, without a question.
Might be a little bit more scarier than the Undertaker.
Oh, that mask freaked me out. When I first saw it, I
The way
was
that it had the
scared.
lights flashing, I mean, everything that WWE did with that was spot
Yeah, the way his dress
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything is perfect.
Everything.
Yeah.
Did you notice on the abdomen of the singlet, you had the praying hands on it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I didn't
zoom in on the abdomen of his singlet.
Oh, nice.
And you have praying hands on it.
Very cool.
So, now I think there's still some questions here. Does he wear the mask while he wrestles?
Yes. I think you have to.
That's not even my first question, though.
So, but here's where I'm torn. Do we now have a Bray Wyatt, the Fiend,
There you go.
like you have Finn Balor, the Demon?
God, I hope not. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
I think.
well,
Knee jerk, I say I hope not.
like a split personality.
Yeah.
Just like now we have Finn Balor, and then you have the Demon Finn Balor.
I
So
think-
do we get Bray Wyatt,
See,
and then when he needs to, he brings the Fiend
I think-
out.
I don't think
'Cause I mean,
Maybe yes, but we see the Fiend more than
Hold
we
on.
do the Demon.
I think you're
I
gonna-
think you get regular Bray Wyatt not in the ring, as in doing like promos and everything, but when it wrestles, you get the Fiend.
So we get Mr. Rogers for promos.
Pretty much.
I don't think so. I think we get a mixture of both. I think we're going to see Bray terrorize everyone backstage.
What if we
I
get
think
Go ahead.
we see a split personality where he's backstage interacting with maybe one guy. The other guy says whatever, does something to rub him the wrong way, and then next thing you know, that guy's he's disappeared, he's vanished, he's gone,
Right.
or whatever, laid out.
What if we get a Fiend that appears and kind of appears, disappears, reappears, like a Crow Sting did?
Yeah, and because at first,
He's not going to repel out of the ceiling, but
If you look
Yeah.
at the way that the mask is designed, if you look at the straps that are on it, I do believe that that's going to be something he wrestles in. The way
I think he should.
That way
I
that
think you
mask
have
is
to.
designed.
Yeah.
The Fiend. At first, I was not a fan of the name that they gave it. I wasn't. But as I go back and watch it more and more, I'm 100% okay with it. I'm on
That makes
board
sense.
with it.
It's
I think that you asked the question a little while ago when you said, when we were talking about who takes the strap off of Lesnar.
you think it's him?
I think that's your character that takes the strap off of Lesnar. One, Bray Wyatt's earned it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because after he lost his title to Randy Orton at WrestleMania 35, they didn't do a damn thing with him, and they wasted the 2 years they spent building him.
Yeah.
So he's earned it.
100%.
So
Well, he should be a multiple-time champion
and
now.
this right here, if you follow social media, this set social media on fire.
It got 1 million views
Yeah.
in less than 24 hours on their YouTube page.
It set social media on fire because people were so excited to see it.
For something that took less than a minute.
Yeah.
Right. That was the
Because you had seen those promos for weeks.
Well,
Okay.
And then it was just nothing. So you knew it was coming.
So the part that makes me laugh about this, though, is let's back up. Let's go back to the debut of the Firefly Funhouse. The three of us sitting in here, you weren't part of the cast yet, but the three of us sitting in here buried Bray Wyatt, the WWE, and everything about the Firefly Funhouse.
well,
We
the-
started to ease up on it as it evolved.
Well,
That first episode, we buried
Yeah,
it.
the very first night it happened, she and I were going back and forth in our group chat with what
Vince
the
lost his mind.
was that? What in the hell have they
Yeah.
done to Bray Wyatt?
I was terrified
So,
by him.
hey,
It
Yeah.
took you to go
Terrified
from
for him.
over here.
Oh yeah, we all ran that
This reminds
full
me-
gamut of emotions right
Yep.
there.
This reminds me, and it's just like I give Vince the credit for, taking the storyline for 3 years and making us hate Brock Lesnar. The man still knows how to tell a story, because I want you guys to understand, that didn't come from Paul Heyman.
No.
Yeah.
That came from WWE's creative team and Vince McMahon giving the approval. This was in the works before Heyman ever had his hands on Raw.
Well, from what I
Vince even
understand,
got
there
his own
was,
little devil puppet.
yeah, there was very few people actually involved in this whole process. Like Bray
He
even
was given a
paid
lot of
and got,
creative,
he
freedom for
paid,
this.
designed the mask himself, and had one of the top, costume guys make the mask. Like one of the who makes them for like the scary movies and all
Yep.
that crap. He
went
made
with
it.
one of the most
I forget his name.
world-renowned costume
Yeah.
designers for Hollywood.
And paid for it himself.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much it was, but still.
Yeah.
It's just passion and dedication and belief in yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna make that money back.
There was
Oh,
a
for
picture
sure.
that somebody...
He's good.
There was
sure.
a picture that somebody had shown of him in the Fiend mask, and then him in that Sister Abigail burlap sack thing that he wore. That he was supposed to face the demon Finn Balor in back at Survivor Series, back before JoJo gave him the mumps. And so,
Well,
the
First person to beat the demon. That Bray Wyatt.
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
And I think at some
so you guys
point-
think we get the demon at
I think
SummerSlam?
we
don't
get
think-
Demon versus
if
Fiend.
you bring Finn
I don't think we
Balor-
do.
If you bring
You
Finn Balor
have
in
to. You have to.
against the Fiend without the demon, then you've wasted that entire match.
I mean, I'm sure we will, but like,
Why would you not,
what,
though?
like what we were briefly touched on earlier, Finn requested to take time off. So what
So-
better way to have Finn leave for X amount of time than to have normal Finn Balor get demolished by the Fiend, leave for however long he's requesting, come back as the demon, and go after Bray.
No, I get it.
I get what you're saying. I think it works.
And I'm sure it probably will be the demon,
Yeah,
but
I think it works that way
they have
too.
an easy out right
But
here.
I think that just the demon has never
They
been defeated.
don't really do easy outs.
The demon has never been defeated either in NXT
Right.
or on the main roster.
Right.
If you're going to have him be defeated, that's the guy that
It
has
has
to
Oh,
to be.
I agree. I definitely agree. with
Now
you.
it has to be.
But I'm just saying you don't have to have the demon at SummerSlam.
No, I agree. If they're going to go that route of bringing him back later on, then I think that's absolutely the route to go.
And
Yeah.
I don't think you do it in a regular match.
Well, so here's what I can see if I get on board with what you're saying is you bring in Finn Balor at SummerSlam, the Fiend defeats him.
I don't think they even make it to the ring. I think the Fiend demolishes him backstage. You don't know what exactly happened because we don't see the actual physicality. Finn may, you know how they used to use like fake blood. Like may
Yeah.
have blood on him, maybe tied up.
Yeah.
Just could be a number of things.
So if that happens, I see that Balor's probably gone until February or March.
yeah.
He comes
It's a long
back.
time.
The feud starts
For Mania. It's
for
really not that
WrestleMania,
far.
and you get
What is this? July?
We're almost in
Demon
August,
Finn
so-
Balor
We'll go.
versus
September,
the Fiend
October,
at
December,
WrestleMania.
January, Oh, you're right. 7 months.
I think it's
Yeah, we're not that far away from.
crazy.
We're not that far away from Tampa.
Finn Balor did ask for time off. His time off was granted.
I'll be in Tampa.
He's asked for 2 months.
Then?
Yeah, that's what he
that's not
asked
bad.
for.
Oh. Okay.
He asked for 2 months off. It's unknown as to why, but I mean he's earned it.
Yeah, I mean 2 months.
He's been a staple on WWE programming, whether he's
Oh.
been buried or not.
Or hurt.
Or hurt.
I mean, 2 months is
He's
not
earned it.
that long.
This isn't even a confirmed match, though, right? Yet for
No,
SummerSlam?
no, it's not.
Because my thought when I first saw Bray come back, and obviously he chose Finn, was that this could be like a little revenge tour for him. Like, he's coming back to demolish all the past people who have done him wrong. So he started with Finn because they had that one feud.
Yep.
They didn't really have a blow off to it. So
Well,
they
no, because he got sick.
Exactly. He can go back, get retribution on Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, just kind of make his way through the roster and just kind of like, that's just my first thought when I saw him go after Finn.
I think we'll know more along those lines on Monday. If
Definitely.
he comes out and attacks someone else, then we have no idea.
This is going to
Yeah.
take us right into the next topic. I don't know how you're going to get anything out of Monday Night Raw because we have on Monday the Raw reunion, which let's go through this list of folks.
so
Steve Austin,
no,
Ric
I'm pumped
Flair,
up.
Hulk
We don't
Hogan,
need to get
Kevin
together for
Nash,
this.
Scott Hall, Sean
I'll
Waltman,
be there.
Alundra Blaze, Booker T, Christian, Devon Dudley, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Eric
we
Bischoff,
should've.
Gerald Briscoe, The Hurricane, Jerry Lawler, Jimmy Hart, Kelly Kelly, Kurt Angle, Lillian Garcia, Mark Henry, Mick Foley, Pat Patterson, Rikishi, Road Dogg, Ron Simmons, Santino, Sergeant Slaughter, Sid, Ted DiBiase, The Boogeyman, The Godfather, and Rikishi. So I don't know how you're going to get any programming in on Monday Night Raw when you got to fit all those guys into the time.
Well, let's look at that and who could.
I bet you can double up in the same segment.
Well, Hogan, Nash, and Hall are coming together.
NWO.
Hogan,
You can do
Nash, and Hall.
something with Christian, Devon. Who else is on there? Probably
So you're
Mark
going to
Henry,
get
Ron
DX.
Simmons.
At
You're
some
going to get
point.
Triple
So
H
you're gonna
and
get-
Shawn together.
Well, you're going to
Yeah,
get
and
Triple H,
X-Pac.
Shawn, Road Dogg, and X-Pac.
Yeah.
You're going to get them together.
Yeah. So it's, and I'm sure a few of these people you'll probably just see like randomly backstage. You probably won't
Boogeyman's
get, like,
not
a
going to
full
do
segment.
anything other than crawl out from the curtains, smash a clock, eat some worms, and go back.
I was about to say you can't really.
So do you get the Fiend appearance during that segment? With
Then
the
Boogeyman.
I kind of don't even want the Fiend to stoop down to Boogeyman's level. I feel like
Oh, man. That was a punch to the Boogeyman.
wasn't. I mean, he was just a comedy act though. Like he was nothing. It's not like they positioned him as like a dark, like
No.
strong character in the past. Like remember the storyline with him and Booker T? Like
Yeah.
Come
It
on.
was a joke.
it was.
It was King Booker, by the way.
Oh, I apologize, Booker.
was
King Booker. Yeah,
King
he was. That was my favorite incarnation of Booker T. I love King Booker. It was great.
Okay.
Booker.
Booker. No, what I think and what I'm hoping for out of, I don't know why this is the first thing I thought of, but Santino Marella, he has to do something with the 24/7 title on Monday. If he's going to be there and you don't do something with him, Drake Maverick, and R-Truth, it's a
Yeah, you're
travesty.
missing out there.
You have
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
You have to. It's just great.
Does the Cobra take the title?
I'm just saying there's so many possibilities, and I'm sure Hornswoggle will be there, the real Hornswoggle.
There you go.
There you go.
Forgot the sock.
Forgot to what?
The sock. The
Go
sock.
get that one out of Tommy's drawer.
So,
Okay.
all right. So, one word for your reaction for Raw reunion. Amen. We'll start with you.
That's
One
you.
word.
Excited.
Not one word. Don't be Smokey or his son, because neither one of them can count, apparently.
Excited
Smokey?
That's two.
Excited.
is my word.
Oh, excited. Just say it.
Nervous.
What are you
Why?
nervous for?
There's so many people here. How many of the regular talents are going to lose airtime to these
It's just
guys?
one night, though. And a lot
Just
of
one
them...
night. Yes. But you're 3 weeks out from your major summer paper.
And they're gonna focus on the main things for SummerSlam, have them build whatever. They're gonna have interactions with the legends. I think Kevin Owens
What
should
would
interact.
Heyman do?
And
I'm-
Heyman-
you know what? I'm
yeah,
going to have
Heyman's
faith
there.
in Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
If Paul Heyman
about
wasn't
those.
running the show now, yeah, nervous may be the way I would go.
I'm still nervous because
I see why. I mean, I get it.
Well,
but
here's my other thing: is that there's some of these guys that you know what you're expecting out of them, right? So a name that I don't see on the list, this list is The Rock.
yeah.
So I would expect he'll probably show up anyways.
What?
If he's not
You think so?
advertised, I don't know.
You think so?
He has shown up unadvertised before.
He did show up in Boston at a house show a couple
like
years
a-
ago, just randomly.
He showed
I
up
would
at
go
Madison Square
crazy.
Garden, or no, at the Barclays Center one night on Raw, unannounced, because that was when he
Dude.
confronted Rusev.
Wait, what is he filming right now?
I don't think he's filming anything. He just finished filming. He's now in the process of he's on the premiere tour for Hobbs and Shaw.
Right.
And Roman.
So,
Dude. No, she's even more.
just turned real quick.
Even more. Ew.
So-
No. Come on now. Let's be real.
Your response was better than I was anticipating.
No.
We had a new logo on the truck for a second.
No.
So,
Let's not be foolish, guys. Come on.
Why's your face red?
I'm with you.
Well, I mean, this is a sensitive subject.
I think,
Is it?
I think, like for Austin. Okay, so here's my the other part of that nervous.
He's glitching again.
I don't want us to get a 30-second backstage segment that has Austin in it. I don't want.
No, I need him
Dude,
in the
if
ring.
I-
backstage segment of Hogan in it. I mean, there's certain people that you're going to have to bring down there, but if you go down that list, that means you're talking 10, 15 minutes for each segment.
Well, Ron Simmons is going to have a 5-second
Cameo.
cameo in which he says "dirt,"
That's about it.
and that's it.
And that would probably be tied in with the Boogeyman, Santino, BS that they
Shane
do.
Helms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Hurricane Helms.
So, Sid is an interesting pick.
Kelly, Melina.
Yeah.
So she's going to be coming
I
back.
feel like it's kind of odd that Sid's going to be there.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
weird that I think it's weird?
When was the last time that we've even seen him in WWE?
Sid was out there a few years ago.
God, I'll never forget the
Slater-
night his leg went sideways. Oh my
Heath Slater was
God.
on that Legends tour,
Oh, okay.
I remember now.
and he came out there.
Oh yeah, that was the last time.
So, but we're going to move on past that because this, this ties into it as well. You talked about, trusting Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman wants Raw to be less scripted for its promos and more real. So he wants more.
Finally.
He wants more authentic interactions between the wrestlers. He wants the backstage segments to be more genuine, less scripted and prompted.
Which it should be.
I think that
You
benefits
get more
Roman.
reaction out of that.
I think that benefits Roman more.
Well, I think it benefits a lot of these guys. You've got guys now that you're trying to get.
Well, now
so-
Roman isn't on Raw.
But you so.
Or is he?
But you look at, but you look at Bray Wyatt. Look at what he's able to do when given creative freedom. Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
So
know.
what else? What else could an Aleister Black do if he had been given creative freedom? I don't know. I don't know that we've seen that yet. He might fall flat on his face.
But let him. Give him the opportunity to
Right.
fail.
Let's
you know?
find out.
So
Yeah.
Do
Then-
one thing. If it doesn't work, all right.
right.
That's it.
You all right? You lost your ability to do this now. Now
Go back.
Right.
Think of something else. Try again later.
So, does WWE finally abandon the PG era?
Yes.
Amen.
No.
Not immediately, but yes.
So they're pushing the lines right now.
They're good.
He didn't say one word that time.
They're pushing.
I wanted you to pay attention.
They're pushing the lines
I was thinking
on
my
the
one
PG
word.
side.
Yeah, that's what I
They're
said.
pushing.
I don't think
for
it's
sure, but
immediate.
Bray Wyatt
abandonment,
alone.
but yes.
They're-
That dude was,
pushing-
and that was at 9 o'clock. That dude was creepy. I know there were little kids in the
But
arena
they're
that
probably
night.
there.
Oh, but dude, I
Oh,
said
yeah.
it, what?
Yeah.
Was it 2 weeks ago that Maria Kanellis come out and did her thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
seriously pushing it.
let's be real. There's a superstar that's coming back on Raw Reunion who got in trouble in WWE for not wearing undergarments during her entrances.
Who?
Melina.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't
Huh.
know.
No, I had no idea.
So
you
you
didn't
can go
know?
find plenty of. You can go find plenty of pictures of him. So
Of him?
of them.
Okay.
So
I was like, wait a minute.
so you're taking a risk.
Yeah, but she's not going to be doing anything.
So when you
She'll be
see
one
that
of those
she's on
others.
there for a one.
Hold up. There's another one on this list that came in as an exhibitionist.
Well, that's Kelly Kelly. I'm okay with that one though. But either way, you're bringing back some names now that are going to challenge that PG standing, even if they're only around for one night. I get it. But one of the things that Austin struggled with when they transitioned to the PG era was conforming to that restriction.
Well, especially not being able to fight too,
Right.
with him.
So it's just it's different. So I'm with you. I don't think they abandon it immediately, and I don't think they abandon PG altogether. But I think you do see a PG-13 rating.
That's what I was thinking.
That's coming. So that's going to give them a little bit more leeway because
A little more wiggle
PG-13.
room, yeah.
If you've seen a PG-13 movie,
Oh my gosh! Sometimes it should be rated R. Like, you serious?
They're just raunchy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So-
oh, okay.
Now we're going to take on what I think is going to be the most controversial topic of tonight's broadcast, and there's a ton of folks out there that have plenty to say about it, including the man who made the move famous. So, and that's going to be Kevin Owens and the Stone Cold Stunner. How do you feel about it?
Well, first off, I hope, since we're doing all this on Monday, that we get some type of interaction. All this. I hope we get some type of interaction with Stone Cold and Kevin Owens.
That's fair.
I don't care. Well, like I said, I don't care. But whatever happens, either Kevin comes out to help Austin, whatever. They have a beer together. Just something. Because I think that'll definitely benefit Cohen. I'm going to say Cohen. But Kevin. Yeah, I was like, who's Cohen? But that'll obviously benefit Kevin.
That's another new one.
Cohen.
New one.
Yeah.
He wrestled with Andre the Jordan.
He did. It was a good match. One of those lost tapes that they talk about
Yeah.
back
Cohen.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
The lost tapes. I think there's just some moves that
You don't do.
you just don't do. I think there should be a don't go there list. Mm-hmm. I think a rock bottom should be one. I think a stunner should be one. Now, you could argue that Randy Orton's RKO came from a stunner, and it did.
No.
I think it did. It's more of like a diamond
more-
cutter. I get
yeah, I
it.
was about to say-
But I mean, at the end of the day, where's his arm? It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a different variation. What I was going to say is that doesn't count. But like a straight up stunner, just don't do it.
Because I think some moves are just so tied in with that one wrestler. Because it's, you see Stunner, you think Austin.
Well, because
Like, it's
when
not like a
Austin
super
was
kick
at his peak, we
nowadays.
saw 45 stunners every Monday.
Right. So it's just one of those moves, like, and as we
My
talked about
feeling is
earlier.
it makes him look like a ripoff.
Well,
and
that's
that-
what I'm saying. There's
yeah,
just some
that's-
moves.
Yeah, because
Some moves
his
you just don't do
pop-up
it.
powerbomb is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I love the way he
Stick
does
with
it.
that.
He doesn't, yeah, and you can do it really quickly. Get in there, throw him up, slam him down, done.
Yep. So, Smokey, you got anything to add to that? Okay, great, thanks.
That was not what I was laughing at.
Riveting insight.
So, I'm with you. I think that you save some moves for the folks that that really made them famous. However, I think that sometimes you have to have a reinvention of them, but I don't think that Kevin Owens is the right person
So many things about that.
I know, right?
to reinvent it. So,
That's what I was laughing at. I'm sorry. That's worth interrupting the show for.
let's see. Instead,
I think it just kind of happens.
there are some things in this group that you just cannot make up. And if I wouldn't be abandoning all morals by sharing that story with the world, then I would. But
I read it.
there's just some things that you can't. You just
Hand that over there.
you just can't make up. Thank you, Mrs. Keith. That was well worth it.
It's the one at the bottom.
So now let's move on. Let's move on to
That's my boy.
AEW. Fight for the Fallen results.
Oh, sorry.
I put this on the run sheet with the full intentions of actually going through this and talking about the matches, but I'm actually going to say that Fight for the Fallen, I don't know about you guys, but the first 3 points really of the AEW conversation is I was extraordinarily disappointed by Fight for the Fallen.
Strong.
I think that AEW is now continuing to stumble in their tracks of trying to become a true relevant promotion. And I'm going to take the unpopular opinion, and I would, you've seen those signs where it has something said, and at the bottom it says, change my mind. So here is what I have to say. AEW is nothing more than a glorified house show for an independent wrestling promotion. Change my mind.
I'll go with that. Yeah, I will get on board with that because go all
For
the way.
now. It might get better. For now.
It could, but like you said, change your mind.
Change my mind.
But go all the way back before that first phenomenal show where they just come out and tore it down. What did I say? They have to do it more than once.
Yeah.
They haven't done it more than once yet, but like you just said, they've only had hiccup after hiccup after hiccup, and each one's worse than the next.
Well, but the past two shows weren't big shows. They were smaller shows. Their next big show is All Out.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
They're still having issues.
they're still having issues. It doesn't matter how big the show is.
Right.
The hiccups are happening in the matches.
You gotta have that continuous flow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have 3 shows or if you or 3 matches or 10 matches. If you have 3 and you screw up 2 of them, how's your show?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I want so bad for them to be successful and make a mark on the wrestling world. We talked about how exciting it was to have AEW coming around and the breath of fresh air that it was putting into the wrestling industry. And I still think you're getting that. I just think they still have a lot of work to do. It makes me really nervous for them going into what's going to be a weekly episodic television program.
They need
In 3 months.
writers.
3 months away.
They need writers. They need a story.
You are 3 months away, and you're putting, and if you think that I'm way off the mark on this, then, and I respect anybody's opinion on that, I would just encourage you to go listen to what Jim Cornette has to say about AEW.
Does he have his own podcast or something?
Jim Cornette,
Is that where everyone?
yeah. So, and if you do, I'll just caution you, if you have children around, don't let them listen with you. And don't encourage them to go watch it because he,
Oh, Jimmy.
Or you get messages like
colorful.
that on your phone.
yeah, I mean, because he says things that we can't say.
Yeah.
For the sake of our viewers, we won't say it. But it's one of those things where I hope and pray that they get it figured out. I'm looking forward to All Out. I think that's going to be a great show. But they've got to figure this out, and they've got to figure it out fast.
Because if they continue to pretty much fall on their face once they have their show, nobody's going to watch it.
Well, I think you're still going to get people that will watch it. I don't think that's going to change.
Well, I mean, wrestling fans are going to watch a wrestling show.
Right. And there's still enough, they have enough talent that's on the roster that the folks that follow that talent are going to watch. And I would expect them to. My concern is that I think maybe we, as the wrestling world of fans, expected too much right off the bat.
Well, yeah, because look at what they gave us right off the bat.
Well, and I think they're doing too many shows right now. I don't
Right
think
now,
they needed
yes,
both
yeah.
of these 2 shows back to back.
Yeah.
They could have done Double or Nothing, one of these past 2 shows, and then All Out, done whatever
Take a
they do
break,
behind the scenes, get ready for the show. I
Kind
think
of regroup.
right.
Figure out what you're going to do when you hit the...
They could have easily taken Fighter
Now,
Fest out.
regroup, write some stuff down,
Yeah. Scale it.
scale it. Scale it.
Scale it.
Don't get carried away.
Yeah, just scale it down.
Just scale it down a little bit, AEW. Come on.
So,
Are y'all really worried though for their?
oh, absolutely. I am.
Yeah.
100%.
Because here's my concern. Double or Nothing, they planned for 6 months. All In, they planned for 6 months. We got great shows. They didn't have that much time to plan for Fighter Fest.
But they really did.
They didn't.
But they didn't plan for it because they don't have
So
writers. Or
then you have...
Oh well,
just kind of threw it together.
Then
and
you
said,
have, what, 6 weeks later, you're doing Fight for the Fallen?
not even. I don't
Yeah,
think.
probably
Yeah.
not even. Maybe
Yeah.
3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And now you've got All Out. That's coming in August. So you're not that... they can't plan something in 2 or 3. And if they are planning it, like, for me as a wrestling fan, I don't know what you're trying to do.
They could just be doing it all this right now to get everything out of their system. All these
And that could
weird
be
matches, the weird pre-shows,
It could
whatever.
be.
Just to get it. They wanted to have Kenny Omega and Young Bucks match, they got it out of their system. They're done. So
Right.
All Out, I think All Out will be the starting point for what they're going to do for the next 6
hope.
months.
Let's hope.
I think so. They're not, you
Yeah.
know.
So I think that we will be able to know a lot about AEW 4 weeks into their weekly programming.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I hope
They're
they're successful, and I hope
We'll
they
know.
stay around.
We'll know where they are. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
We'll know because that's all it took for TNA to realize that stepping up against Monday Night Raw on Mondays at 9 p.m. was a bad idea. It was 4 weeks. That's all it took.
So what do? Bring in Hogan and Bischoff.
Well, no, that's what got them to that Monday night. The Monday
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
battle.
Drop.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the card for All Out, though. I do want to take a look at that since that's their next event. I think it's on the last page of your packet. What's the match that you're most looking forward to on this card? A-Man, we'll start with you.
That's a hard choice because I'm torn between the Adam Page Jericho match and the Moxley Omega match for completely different reasons. But if I had to choose one, probably Moxley Omega.
Okay. Smokey?
I was going to say Moxley and Omega.
You guys cheating off each other's paper? Is that what you're doing?
Double K?
I actually was going to say the same one, but I kind of want to see Cody and Shawn Spears because obviously I was not a very big fan of Shawn Spears in WWE. Just that character,
It just didn't do it.
no.
It worked great in NXT, but
It was more
not the right character.
It was more like a 2
yeah.
instead of a 10. So I want to see now
Is it
that.
chubby? Is it chubby?
Okay, I'm moving on.
Continue.
Should I ask? What it is?
No,
No,
Okay.
you shouldn't.
Okay.
If you have to ask, you shouldn't.
Okay.
it's not on your menu.
Yeah. So,
But no, I want to see what Shawn Spears can do when the handcuffs are off, so to speak.
okay. All right.
So that, for me, that may be the one that I'm looking forward to the most, just to see what happens. Because he clearly had a whole new attitude and a new intensity that he didn't necessarily have when he was hopping on one leg throwing tens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, for me, may be the match I'm most excited
That's a
to
good
see.
choice.
So I think for me, it's a tie between the Spears and Cody match and the Moxley Omega match, because the struggle that I have, like I can tell you right now, I could care less about the Adam Page Chris Jericho.
And that's what I was just about to say, and that's sad. That's the inaugural championship.
I think you made the biggest mistake you could have made by putting Chris Jericho in that match. I think you made it irrelevant by doing so.
Ooh.
Because the reason why Chris Jericho is even in that match is because of his notoriety from being a previous wrestling star. Almost everybody else on this card made themselves from who they were.
So will you still feel that way if Jericho doesn't walk away with it?
I would say good for AEW in putting the belt on Adam Page.
Right.
Just something tells me in my gut, though, that's not what's going to happen, and here's the reason why. You put the belt on Jericho, he now will be the only man ever in history to have held the WCW title, the WWE title, the WWE World Heavyweight title, and the AEW Heavyweight Championship. There will never be another one that can do it.
I don't think that's their main reason for doing it. I think one of the main reasons is because going to TNT, the United States doesn't know who Adam Page is. 90% of the fans out there don't know who Adam Page is. They know Chris Jericho. If I'm watching TNT
So
and they put the
usually
little
they're
marquee
right,
on the
yes.
on the bottom,
The draw
and they
is
say,
nice.
for instance, October 4th is their start date. For instance, October 4th, Chris Jericho, AEW. Just have a little picture of him with the title.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, that's Chris
'cause
Jericho.
if-
It's AEW.
If Chris
Adam Page,
Jericho's
we don't
your
know.
mainstream champion, to the general public, that goes against the theory of it's just your random pop-up indie promotion.
Well, if that's the case, then I think you're taking a cheap way of trying to get yourself notoriety.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
But I don't think that Chris Jericho is. Please don't get me wrong. The guy should be a Hall of Famer for every promotion he's ever worked for because he has what he has done not only for the
Definitely.
business but his ability to continue to reinvent himself
Right.
is just unmatched.
How many times?
Right,
He
unmatched.
stayed relevant for what? How many years?
25, 30 years.
30 years.
He's up
Ridiculous.
He's up there with Taker as far as being able to continue to keep his name around.
Yeah.
Not in the same way.
I was going to say different because look at the different image changes and
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not in the
gimmick
same way.
changes. I mean,
But he
Taker
kept
had
himself.
2 gimmick changes.
Yeah. From the dead man to the biker.
Back
from
to the dead
biker
man.
to the dead man.
Right.
That's it. That's all we've got. So I would honestly say that I'm probably the most excited match that I've got on here is the Moxley Omega match, just because those two guys are remarkable performers, and just as much as you're interested in seeing what Shawn Spears has to be able to offer, I'm interested to see what Jon Moxley has to offer outside of the WWE confines. Outside of that, if you could have one wish for AEW, one wish, whether it's a match, whether it's a superstar signing, one wish, what's that one wish for AEW? Double K.
I want them to stay relevant.
Okay.
Yeah, I want this to work. I want them to stay relevant. I want them to raise the bar across the business for everybody.
Okay. Amen.
Don't be cocky.
Okay. I think that's great advice. Smokey?
Don't screw it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's... I would agree right there with you guys.
What did you say?
Don't screw it up.
They have the opportunity to do something really special, and I don't want cockiness or arrogance to get in the way of that.
I think that, obviously not their only, but that could be a major downfall for them. If they should obviously have confidence in themselves and what they're doing, but not too much confidence or expect fans to just follow wherever you go or to agree with everything you do or to be okay. Because I think the chair shot itself showed everyone something that we probably didn't think would happen so soon, is that they can receive backlash from fans. I think that they kind of felt bulletproof for a while with their stuff, and they deserve it. The hard work, everything that they've done is earned, but you can't have that mindset long term.
No.
It's great to get them into the fight and to get going, but you have to just be careful.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. So, folks, that is going to wrap up our conversation pieces of tonight's run sheet. Hold on, I think I've got a comment here from our listeners. So, a couple of comments that were made during one of our fans said that Rhodes versus Spears is the match that he's most looking forward to. Another one said that the reason for Jericho is he sells tickets. You go with who does that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't think that that's the same reason why WWE continues to use Brock Lesnar.
He did a whole cruise by himself, essentially, with his name and his branding. Like, come on, you know?
No, I mean, I hadn't thought about it like that, but that's absolutely right.
We should take Wrestle Rewind on the cruise.
So
That would be sick.
that would be.
That would be so
I think
cool.
we can do it.
That's don't ever give me ideas like that.
That would be so
We know-
I've already put it in there now.
We know what happens.
And it's
when
what,
I
in
get these
October,
ideas.
November?
Yeah, somewhere end of the
Plenty of
year.
time to
As
take
I
off
start
work.
running with
Absolutely.
them. And then another comment from one of our listeners said that AEW would do themselves. His one wish would be for AEW to get rid of the sideshow acts and concentrate more on wrestling. Which I find that so odd that
I wonder-
someone would say that, given the fact that AEW prides themselves on their wrestling.
Well, that's what I was about
and
to
not
say.
the storyline.
I wonder if that person is still listening. If you are, hi. I have a question for you. Do you enjoy
Camera's over there.
the BTE? Well, I know, but like sometimes when I move, like I get out of the camera.
Can you ask the question?
Don't let me say it. Don't let me
Just
say it.
get your mouth really
But
close.
do they enjoy their YouTube series, and do they follow that? Do they follow the Unboxing Cody
BTE?
outside of outside of AEW, what we see or what we've seen the past couple months? Or is this just like a new viewer?
Jason,
for
I'm going
them?
to call you out. Can you answer us on answer a man on do you enjoy the YouTube series from being the elite, the kind of the road to All Out, the road to All In, the things that they did leading up to those shows? So what's your feedback on that? So I have to pause momentarily because it takes us a minute to get the feedback all the way across. I do want to let the listeners know that we are in the process of adding additional new technology to our studio here, which is going to include some mounted monitors that are going to give us the ability to watch more videos on a larger screen and be able to interact with our listeners a little bit more than what we've been able to do in the past. So we've got some additional things that we're going to be adding. We're actually going to be able to get a camera big enough to fit Smokey's head in it. So he's not always on the side, although I know he's 100% okay with being on the sidelines. So do we have an answer for A-Man?
Yes, he said he has watched it, not a fan. He's old school. I prefer a serious in-ring product.
So that would explain his previous comment.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just curious.
Yeah. So, but I think there's a following out there for the folks who do appreciate that part of the business.
Yeah, and again, I think that's one of those things that they're just trying to get out of their system now.
I hope
Before, their year officially starts.
Yeah.
But
So I want to touch on one last thing that I did before I had this week's episode. I put a poll up on our Facebook page earlier this week with regards to when it came to the new executive directors for Raw and SmackDown, who our fans thought that would be more successful out of the two. And I believe the last time I looked at that poll, it was 71% to 29% in favor of Monday Night Raw.
makes sense.
So you can clearly see that there's more support there going behind Heyman than there is going into Bischoff. But we'll see. Time will tell. We could be looking at a whole different WWE universe when we get into WrestleMania next year, folks. So,
Which would you say we're 7 months away now?
Yeah.
7 months. That's not that long. That means 7 months from our trip to Tampa.
Yeah.
And I am happy to announce that the week in Tampa, Wrestle Rewind will be coming to you live from Tampa Bay.
You damn right.
During WrestleMania week, and so that's something that we're really excited.
We got to get shirts.
I'm doing everything I possibly can to get us outside of the Buccaneers Stadium to tape that episode on Thursday night. So we are doing everything we can to make that happen. It does not happen without the support of the folks that listen and watch us every single week. So we owe them a great debt of gratitude.
We've got a huge November because we got to plan all that.
Yeah.
For April, and then we know.
And then UEW.
Yeah. So we've got.
What is it?
UEW.
That's right. We have a lot going on. It's going to be a busy fall. It's going to be about a busy 6 months from November to April. It's going to be a busy
Yeah, it's
time.
in the cruise.
So again, it's going to be a great time. It's a really exciting time to be in the wrestling business. And I'm excited about what not only our future looks like, but just the future of the wrestling business as we move forward. So now we're going to move on to what has become my favorite part of the weekly episodic programming, and that is Wrestle Rewind Trivia.
Let's do this.
We did change the rules a little bit last time. We're going to stick with those rules this time. So it's 15 questions. Whoever has the most correct answers out of those 15 questions is the winner. Here are your buzzers for the evening.
Can I have the blue?
Give her the green.
Please?
No, she can't have the green because it disappears.
Give her the green.
So
Blue's my favorite color.
Blue's my favorite color.
So
Oh.
we're going to start with some easy questions.
Don't touch his button.
That's what you do in the cul-de-sac. So
And that's buckle.
So we're going to start with some easy questions. Keep in mind that if the question is multiple choice, and even if it's not, the moment that you hit your buzzer, I stop asking the question, and you have to answer getting to that point. If it is multiple choice, Each person gets an opportunity to answer.
Well, you try to jump it so quick. Go ahead and answer the first question now.
I was thinking about it.
Andre the Jordan.
Smokey, you ready? Hey, man, you ready?
I'm ready.
So, do we need to announce that the reigning, defending, two-time Wrestle Rewind champion
Taco Man
is she is the reigning defending.
Oh Lord!
Really?
Oh Lord!
So she also has to get her no holds.
Such a glare in here, guys. Gosh. Oh, you don't see it? It's because you don't have a title.
I wasn't even here.
So
You
that's
would've
right.
lost anyway.
You would have been.
Nah, I would have cashed in on you.
So
I'm not scared. I'll just
folks,
win it right back the next month.
that's our help that we use when we make picks for all of the pay-per-views. So A-Man is our reigning champion there as well.
As well.
So
I'm just a champion all around, guys.
there is
So great.
I will tell you that tonight.
Maybe it's June all year.
I will tell you.
It should be.
Tonight. There is a treat in store for the winner of tonight's Wrestle Rewind trivia. So we're going to begin. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
This first 5 questions are not multiple choice.
Oh, great.
And here we go. Which WWE superstar held the Divas Championship for a record 301 days? Amen.
AJ Lee.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, I know.
Double K.
Trish.
That is incorrect.
Was it
Smokey.
Honestly, I was going to say AJ Lee.
It was not. It was Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella.
All right, moving on to the second question of the evening. Who won the first ever WWE Wrestling Classic tournament?
What year?
Wrestling Classic tournament.
There's no year that's attached to the question.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I
So we're
have
asking
no
for a
idea.
hint.
Yes. I mean, because look, if we're all three sitting here looking at each other like, what the hell is that?
This WWE superstar is a Hall of Famer, and
It's that guy over there in the corner with the black hair.
he came to the ring wearing an accessory around his neck. Double K.
Junkyard Dog.
It is the Junkyard Dog.
The hell? Who are you? Double K.
Hey, just stop talking and mark that down.
I did.
Question number 3. Who was the first WWE superstar to win the King of the Ring tournament?
Ooh, the first.
First ever?
The first ever.
Oh, jeez. What year was that?
I don't know, probably
Jeez.
born.
Who was...
That's probably accurate.
Probably.
You were already alive, what, 30 years by then?
Go ask your father about beads.
Can you repeat the question? I apologize.
Who was the first WWE superstar to win King of the Ring?
I feel like I have a guess.
I was
What's a
say
hint?
that.
We're going to need a hint.
This superstar's initials are DM.
Oh, no, that killed that.
DM.
DM. Countdown 10, 9, 8, 7,
I just keep thinking...
6,
It's completely screwed with who I was thinking.
4, 3,
Damn.
2, 1.
I have no
Doc
idea.
Morocco. Was
I beat it. I beat it.
no, I counted to 1.
That's who I was getting to say. I thought of it right. God.
Don Morocco was
I just
the
kept
correct
thinking Drake
answer.
Maverick.
I thought of it right.
Obviously, it's wrong, but DM.
As soon as you hit it, I was like, Dean Malenko.
Well, I knew it wasn't.
Question number 4. To which WWE Hall of Famer was the first 2-time King of the Ring winner? I'm guessing there we need another hint.
Go for it.
This individual is a WWE Hall of Famer who was also part of a major stable.
Billy Gunn.
That is incorrect.
What?
Continue with your hint, sir.
He is a WWE Hall of Famer that is part of a major stable that was recently inducted into the Double K.
Crap.
That is not the wrestler.
That's Triple H.
It is not Triple H. Smokey Z, you're the only one remaining. Do you have a guess?
Shawn Michaels?
It was not Shawn Michaels. It was indeed Bret the Hitman Hart.
Really?
That's why I said crap, because I was like, watch it be Sean.
Question number 5. Who cashed in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam 2013 and defeated Daniel Bryan for his WWE Championship? A-Man.
Was it Sheamus?
That is incorrect.
Alberto Del Rio.
It is not Alberto Del Rio. Double K, you're the only one left.
I'm 0 for 3, man.
Hey, repeat the question, please, sir.
Who cashed in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam 2013 and defeated Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship?
13.
And beat Daniel Bryan. Can you tell us who Daniel... Oh, this doesn't matter to me anymore. Never mind.
Wow. I know what it is.
Do you?
Your clock is ticking. You're down to 10
Do I
seconds.
get a hint?
Negative, because the other two have already answered.
Well, that's not my fault.
That's true.
This is wrong, but Miz.
Nope.
Randy Orton.
It was indeed Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So now the questions get a little bit more difficult. They're going to move.
We put up one collective point through the first five.
Maybe we'll stick with the easy question.
Difficult is exactly what we need right now.
Doing so well.
Let's stick with the easy
We've
question.
literally got one question right.
Who's at that point?
Question number
Double
6.
K.
Who became the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in history at SummerSlam 2?
Randy Orton.
That is correct.
Yes! Tag in, guys!
Who won the first ever TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match in 2000? Amen.
Edge and Christian.
That is also correct. Whom
That's what she did last time.
did The Rock hit with
Come back
a
here.
rock bottom on Raw 1000?
Oh, I didn't hear...
Bach Rodham.
What did you say?
Who did The Rock hit with the rock bottom on Raw 1000? Sorry.
There's a reason that I don't remember.
I don't even remember him being there.
There's a reason I don't remember. I can't say it
Who did he...
on air, but I will tell you guys after this.
Wait, what year was that?
It was
I have
like
no idea.
2011 or 12.
Who did The Rock hit with the rock bottom? I'm assuming you guys want a hint.
Yeah.
Let me look at what the answer
I
is.
remember the beginning of the
I
show.
don't even remember.
This WWE superstar also would go on to later win his first world championship at a WrestleMania main event triple threat match that he was added to that night.
A WrestleMania triple threat?
Mm-hmm.
But he was the one who received the rock bottom.
Correct.
Ooh.
Would you like a second hint?
Oh, let me think about it. The
I think
year
I've
would
got
be
one in
really
mind,
helpful.
but
Yeah, I feel like I got one.
it was either 2011 or 12. I know that 100%.
This WWE superstar was also involved in one of the shortest WrestleMania matches of all time when he... Double K.
Sheamus.
Negative.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
That's what I was gonna
I was
say.
thinking when he kicked Daniel Bryan in the face.
So I'm gonna finish.
Oh, I have a chance.
Wait, you didn't finish the hint for me.
No, I didn't give you a hint. I was in the middle of a hint.
Same
That
damn
was true. He
thing.
was in the middle. You guys cut him
This
off.
WWE superstar was also involved in one of the shortest WrestleMania main events, or WrestleMania title matches, in which he lost his world title.
Oh, that was a homie, because I don't even know who he is and who was in the match with him.
It is Daniel Bryan.
It's the same match.
Smokey
The Rock?
Person.
That doesn't
Yeah,
count,
it
though.
was the exact same
Same
match.
match, different person.
How does that not count?
Because didn't he already answer?
No.
No,
He
Oh.
said Sheamus, and I said, that's
it was the same match.
Oh, I thought that was
I just said the wrong guy.
I was so pissed because
Oh.
he said Sheamus, and then he was like, "Well, yeah, he kicked Daniel Bryan." And I'm going, "Oh,
Yeah, because I was thinking Daniel Bryan was like, oh, well, whatever, that's wrong. Nah, I really don't know.
no, it was. He was in a. You guys remember that match, right? And Sheamus. He kicked Daniel Bryan square in the face.
Because he kissed AJ Lee, turned around, and Sheamus put a boot in his mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who won the first ever Divas Tag Team Tables match at TLC 2010?
Tag team tables. The first ever?
The first ever.
I thought you stayed with the easy ones.
These are the easy ones.
We're killing it.
I'm assuming you want a hint?
Yeah.
This particular tag team contains a current WWE superstar who is on the main roster and a WWE Hall of Famer. Double K.
Beth and Natalia.
It is Beth.
Yeah, that's, yep. Good job, Double K.
I want y'all to know that I have to pull these hints straight out of my ass. Because there's no hints on these cards.
You know what? I've noticed him limping after every episode. Now I know why.
Here we go. We'll go way back. Way back.
Are you talking about for the hint?
No.
Okay.
Who was crowned the corporate champion at Survivor Series 1998? Double K.
The Rock.
It was The Rock. We are down to the final 5 questions.
God.
Thanks.
Who was Shawn Michaels' first manager in WWE? Amen.
Gorilla Monsoon?
It was not Gorilla Monsoon. That is incorrect.
Oh, it better be the obvious one.
I know. I'm thinking the obvious one.
I don't think that was this. Why am I helping you?
Here, let's keep talking it out.
It's because I really want to think of the right answer. So I'm gonna.
I would like you to get it. Come on, let's talk.
Whatever. Isn't your time
The
counting?
two of you want a hint?
Yeah, give a hint.
This manager is a WWE Hall of Famer who also happens to be a female.
Ah!
Sonny.
That is incorrect.
No!
Who?
What?
I thought it was Sonny.
That is incorrect. Smokey Z, you are the only one.
Oh.
Do you have a guess?
Because I was already sitting there thinking it anyway, and I was like, oh, that confirmed it.
15 seconds remaining.
I wish. Can I get I don't
I have no
know.
idea.
No idea? So are you giving up?
Yeah.
It is Sensational Sherry.
Yes. Oh man.
I can picture her just
Because I wasn't thinking her. The whole time I'm sitting here going back and forth between two, and Sonny was just...
She was later.
She was at the forefront of my head, and then you were like, female. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, that's it.
Who was featured
Wasn't
on
it?
the cover of the very first WWF magazine? Amen.
I feel like we've had a lot of these
It
tonight.
feels really bad.
Because
You're down to 12 seconds
For all of us or just her?
for her,
Fair.
so that we don't keep dragging
I was
this
like-
out.
Bret Hart.
That is incorrect.
Yeah. Wait. You don't know the year.
No, it's wrong. Shh.
You two want a hint?
Sure.
This individual is a WWE Hall of Famer who performed at a WrestleMania as a WWE Hall of Famer who is now deceased.
Good Lord.
Is it Macho Man?
That is incorrect.
Oh, man. Why am I struggling with this? Just
Double K, you're the
Pick
only
a-
one left.
pick a dead Hall of Famer.
That's insensitive.
What? I was thinking out loud.
You got 14
My
seconds.
point was, how hard could that actually be? It's harder than you think. Yes, you can.
Are you guys okay with me giving him another hint?
No.
Okay.
She agreed a minute ago when I said it.
That was different.
That's not cool.
3, 2.
I'm just completely blank. I'm tired.
Was it
So
Robert?
I'm going to give you guys another hint.
What? They're out. They already
Not
answered.
all of you. And if you get it right,
Nope.
You get a
Doesn't
point.
no, I didn't say you get a point.
Oh. You get a special power.
This individual,
What are we, superheroes?
Should be.
this individual also
Ashley farts rainbows. That counts.
was
Oh, really?
charged,
That'd be cool.
No, would be.
was also charged with murder. Double K.
Jimmy Snuka.
Jimmy Snuka is correct. Who
He was
became
the first person on the magazine? That was the original question?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I would have never. I don't think I would have gotten
who
that.
became the ECW World Champion and the WWE Champion at the same time? Amen.
RVD.
Rob Van Dam is correct.
Yes!
We now have a tied game again.
I just need to tie it up. I was stressing out there. Now I can breathe.
Smokey, you're going to need to get the next 2 questions correct to stay in the game.
You got this, Smokey.
Who did Roddy and Roddy Piper share the WWE Tag Team Championship with in 2006?
Oh.
Amen.
Ric Flair.
It was Ric Flair.
Yep.
Smokey, so you are officially eliminated from tonight's
Sorry,
trivia
Smokey.
challenge. Double K,
Just
you
didn't
will
hit my
need to
buzzer.
get the next answer
I know. That's the question.
correct. This is the 15th question, and the final question, if Double K does not answer it correctly. Whom did Roman Reigns beat to win his first WWE World Heavyweight Champion?
Yeah.
Triple H.
That is incorrect.
You sure?
To win his
I'm
first
positive.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think you might be right.
Who did Roman Reigns beat to win his first WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
I think I deserve a hint. She's agreed with one, disagreed with one.
That's fine. Give him a hint.
He was a member of the same trio as Roman Reigns.
So now it's 50-50.
I got a 50 shot. Which one was it?
Oh, man.
That's 50-50. Here we go. You're still here?
Double K, what is your answer?
Seth Rollins.
That is incorrect.
Dean Ambrose.
I knew it was Dean. I knew
It was Dean Ambrose.
Well, maybe you should have known.
That
Question
makes
ago.
Amen the three-time reigning, defending, undisputed Wrestle Rewind
Take all
trivia.
the titles around here.
And so tonight, Amen,
Yes. Oh, wait. I'm not getting my
you get your special treat.
Oh, I was just joking about all the titles. What is
Your
that?
prize
Oh,
for
no.
Wrestle Rewind trivia.
Oh, wait. I gotta close this marker. Oh, it's... Oh, wow. What is it? Is it the 24/7 title? Are y'all setting me
written
up?
on the bag. Can you not read
Oh,
it?
is it really? Oh, I didn't want to spoil the surprise, guys. Oh, almost fell out my chair.
I'm so pissed off right now. Not because of that. Just I'm so pissed off right now.
So, folks, this brings us to another close for Wrestle Rewind. Another great episode with this group. It never fails that we find a way to agitate each other and remain friends some shocking way.
So now I'm A-man 2 belts.
Oh, God. Why did you let that happen?
I blame 10 hours in a car too.
Oh, okay. That's valid. It's valid.
You know, I can see why Becky struggled getting in and out of the ring, because it's difficult just sitting here with 2 titles.
Why? Because she didn't deserve her belts either.
Okay.
Ronda's shoulders weren't really down.
So, folks, that's going to wrap it up for another
think we
week
should go
of
for it.
Wrestle Rewind. As usual, we thank everybody for listening. We went from a rapid ascent in our listeners and our followers. We went from 44 to 465 that we've gained in 3 weeks of doing this show. So we thank you for that. We thank you for taking the time, because you don't have to do this. We appreciate it. And we take the time out of our lives to do this for you. So
Yeah. Thank you all.
we do appreciate it. As
Tell
usual,
me.
No, not you.
as usual, it's Tommy T.
Double K.
A-man.
Smokey Z.
And Nico behind the scenes, folks. We will see you the next time the bell tolls.